Today's beer is, forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, Leinenkugels, okay, wait for it, Cranberry Ginger Shandy. Oh my god, that sounds bad. But hey, name of science, I'm going to do this. Cranberry Ginger Shandy. And, interesting. I expected a little bit lighter, but still light. Okay, Cranberry Ginger Shandy. Okay, let's see what happens. And what up, world? It's Tony Recluse, and you are on my vlog. This is vlog number 19. I can't say lucky number 19. 19 is kind of a lame number. But anyway, so let's move past it, though. So today's beer is Leinenkugel, if I pronounced it wrong, forgive me, Cranberry Ginger Shandy. Okay? It's definitely a shandy, and you could taste a lot of the ginger. Um, it's like it's kind of like if you were gonna get a beer at like an organic vegan health food store. This is what I would expect. Just put it that way. So I got this in like a variety pack. So I don't think I will try it again. It's kind of terrible. I mean, it's not the worst beer I ever had. Someday I'll get to that and I'll go, this is the worst beer I ever had. Actually, the worst beer I ever had, and I will drink it every once in a while just because the name, is La Fin de Monde. That is the beer that if I drink it, I'm just like, ugh. It's an acquired taste, and I haven't acquired that taste. So, that's the beer of the day. Leinenkugel Ginger Cranberry Shandy. It just sounds gross, doesn't it? So, today I'm going to do something different. It is Movie Monday. Every Monday I'm going to cover a movie I've watched, and today's movie is The Ridiculous Six. It is truly ridiculous. It's one of those stupid comedies that you have to just dumb yourself down for. Okay, it's kind of like when you watch Jersey Shore. It's like you have to dumb yourself down for it. So, it begins. White Knife it's kind of like a parody of. It is a parody of the intro for one of those. Was it Once Upon a Time in the West or something like that, where it's just this long drawn out intro. So the guy, he goes in, White Knife, he goes into a shop to make some purchases, right? And it's an engine. So, he freaks out. And it's like, we don't serve engines. And, he's like, oh, well, I'm pretending to be one, so I don't get mugged by one, or whatever. He says something stupid along those, similar to those lines. So, so then it turns out, well, he comes out after a shop, and then the one-eyed gang is harassing his future wife. We find out, Smoking Fox. Yes, they just go crazy with the goofy names, and his name is White Knife. He's good with knives, and of course he's white. That's Adam Sandler's character. So they're harassing his wife. Then he takes them out one at a time, and then he moves on. So he goes to the village, with the other Apaches, and his father, his real father, comes and arrives, and he tells him a story of his money and all this, and then the gang that basically what sets everything in motion is that the gang he just left comes and takes him away, but who's led by Cicero. Danny Trejo is the actor that plays him. You've seen him in 1,000 movies, I'm sure. So, and I saw him on Marin too. He's pretty funny on there. So, So he goes on this journey to get the money to get his father away from the gang. Throughout the journey, he meets 6 of his brothers who become the Ridiculous Six. There's the first one is Rob Schneider, plays a Mexican basically, and then with all your fun little stereotypes and all that. Then Taylor Lautner, the werewolf from the Sparkly Vampire movie. He plays a Forrest Gump basically character. That's basically what he plays is Forrest Gump, you know. And God, it's terrible, terrible. Ah. So, where was I beyond that? Oh, Terry Crews plays Chico, and he's never told anyone before, but he's black. That's the joke. That he, it's like, oh, really? Like everyone's, oh, I'm surprised. And then the heavyset guy from Lost, and he was also on How I Met Your Mother. He was the one that was like, oh man, I can't think of his name. Anyway, he plays this mute that is the brother. They name him Herm because he can't talk, and that's the only noise he pretty much makes. And so then there's him, and then who else was there? And Luke Wilson, who had worked for the Secret Service, but he messed up. So it was Luke Wilson. Trying to see if that's 6. Werewolf dude, Terry Crews, Rob Schneider. There should be one more. I'm missing one. Luke Wilson. Oh, and Herm. And then, of course, the 6 is White Fang. So they are the really ridiculous 6. So then beyond that is, the usual suspects in a Adam Sandler movie. There's Steve Buscemi, who's amazing in just about everything else he does, and he always. But I don't know. They must have a really good friendship. So yeah, he plays this doctor / barber / I don't know. And that's a very funny sequence with, that's disgusting. A lot of gross out humor in this movie, you'll see. There's donkeys with diarrhea. So don't eat anything, basically, for this movie, because there's a lot of gross out humor. So, trying to think. Beyond that, the movie is, it's terrible. It's terrible. Let me just put it that way. It's not a classic, okay? Beyond any stretch of the imagination. And even among Adam Sandler's work, tracing back, if you go back to Happy Gilmore and you watch Click, then you watch this, and it's like, I guess he tries to be everything for everybody. That's what it turns out in the last maybe 5 years of every movie. It's like he's trying to please like such a mainstream audience that he fails miserably. But then again, I think if I was 13, this movie would be great. Yeah. Like I said before, if I haven't said this before, I don't know if I did this on the first edit. It's better than Movie 43. It's better than Meet the Spartans. It's not as good as Airplane. Okay? That's the best way I could describe this movie. Oh, and there's a little catch at the end that I'm not going to give away, but there's a little twist like, oh, I didn't see that coming, and which really wasn't necessary, I don't think. It wasn't like, oh, that really made the movie. They could have done without it. So, yeah. How would I grade this movie? I'll give it 2 stars until I get a better grading system for movies. Okay, two stars. Yeah. Okay, so that's Ridiculous Six. It was worth the watch for free. I'm so glad I didn't go see it in a movie theater. Anyway, y'all have a good one, and peace. I'll see you at the movies or whatever. No, that's somebody else's phrase. I'm gonna come up with a catchphrase. All right, peace. I'm out. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna add one more thing though. Vanilla Ice plays Mark Twain in this movie. I could have done without seeing that crap. That's it. It wasn't funny in any stretch of the imagination, no matter how old I was, how old I am now, or how old I was maybe like 30 years ago. If I saw this and they're like, oh my god, it's Vanilla Ice, I'd be like, anyway, that's my edit, and I'm out. Peace.